Good evening and welcome to the Cardinal Fieldhouse on the campus of Concordia University, Ann Arbor for another edition of Cardinals basketball. I'm Josh Hackala alongside Jacob Brentke, and tonight the Cardinal men will play the second game of our doubleheader. They host the Rochester University Warriors. Earlier, the women won their second straight game, 61-41 over Rochester, led by an outstanding defensive performance. They held the Warriors to 30% shooting, forced a season-high 28 turnovers. Jamae Simmons led the Cardinals with a team-high 15 points. Katie Snow chipped in 10 points, 7 assists, 6 boards, and 3 steals. And much like the women, it has been an up-and-down start to the season for Ricky Yont's Cardinals, but one thing they've done pretty well is take care of the basketball. However, in their last 2 games, they have struggled to do just that, and they paid for it. They lost the turnover battle for the first time all season with 19 turnovers against U of M Dearborn. They followed that up with a season-high 22 turnovers in an 84-75 road loss to Great Lakes Christian last Saturday. Greg Alexander had his first double-double as a Cardinal with 14 and 10. The Cardinals have lost 4 straight, and they will get back to conference play tonight against the Warriors, a Warriors team that was picked 5th in the WAC preseason poll. They've won 2 in a row after an impressive road win over 9th-ranked Madonna last week. Armand Cartwright led Rochester with 20 points and 5 assists. You're going to see a lot of him tonight. And the Warriors followed that up with a 99-60 home win over Lambton College. Abdu Guy came off the bench and led the Warriors with 21 points. And Peter Agba chipped in 20 points and 5 boards for the Warriors. We'll pause for the playing of our national anthem and come back and take a look at the starting lineups here at the Fieldhouse. All right, we're coming to you live from the Cardinal Fieldhouse here in Ann Arbor with the Concordia men set to take on the Rochester Warriors. I'm Josh Hackala alongside Jacob Brentke, and we welcome all of you watching on the Concordia Cardinals YouTube channel. Let's take a look at the starters for the Warriors, who are led by head coach Dr. Clint Pleasant, who is in his 9th year in charge of the program. They're 5-4 overall, 2-2 in the WAC. They will have Cannon Campbell, a 6'1" junior from Clarksville, Tennessee. Peter Agba, a 6'5" senior from Nigeria. Cap Wilson, he is a sharpshooter, 6'6" senior from Davison, Michigan. Andrew Klein, 6'5" junior from Clarkston, Michigan. And Armand Cartwright, the 6'1" senior from Bloomfield, Michigan. For the Cardinals, they are led by 7th-year head coach Ricky Yont. They enter tonight 3-7 overall, 1-2 in the conference. They will have Bernard Casanda, the 5'11" sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Greg Alexander, who had the double-double in the last time out, 6'3" senior from Middle River, Maryland. Gerald Booker, the 6'1" redshirt senior from Walled Lake. Jordan Winowicki, the 6'5" sophomore from Fraser, Michigan. And Paul Zisk, the big man in the middle, 6'9" senior from Somerset, Michigan. And one bit of news to pass along, this is going to be the end of a big streak here, as Manny Dominguez is injured and will not play tonight. It'll be the first time in his college career that he will not suit up for the Cardinals. The redshirt senior from Groveland, Florida, is having a pretty solid season for his senior year, and he is going to be out with an ankle injury, Jacob.
Well, one of the Cardinals are going to have to step up. Bernard Casanda gets the starting look tonight for the Cardinals. They've just had not enough production on the offensive side of the ball to really keep them in these games, especially having a humbling defeat in their last performance. Cardinals are going to look to bounce back here against one of their in-conference rivals against the Warriors this evening.
And this is a team that the Cardinals, although in a small sample size, have never beaten. They are 0-5 all time against Rochester, and they are off to a good start there with Casanda.
Nice little jumper there. Saw that he had a few feet of space there at the elbow. Casanda able to find the bottom of the net.
There's Klein now into the corner. They go down low. Pass knocked away by Alexander, and that'll stay with Rochester. I want to keep an eye on number 34, Armand Cartwright, a senior from Bloomfield, Michigan. They're the third leading scorer in the conference, as that jumper is down from Cap Wilson. Keep an eye out for him, too. He is shooting 54% from three this year. That is one of the best in the nation. In fact, it is 10th in the nation. Cartwright with the jumper on the other end is 4-2, early lead for Rochester.
Cardinals also going to have to be careful of Cap Wilson, as he's a left-handed shooter. Definitely look to shut him down on the left side of the court.
Zisk off glass and good. It's good to get Paul Zisk going. Averaging 7.5 points a game. He's rebounding, he's blocking shots better than he ever has in his college career. And there he goes, play some solid defense there, alters the shot, Cardinals come away with it.
This also going with a different look, shaving off the beard as Casanda throws that one away.
Cartwright fouled by Zisk, and he will get the bucket and go to the line. Cartwright averaging 20.5 a game, third best in the conference.
Nice job by Cartwright. Active hands-on defense turns the points and the lead for the Warriors at the other end of the court. Zisk picking up a quick foul here under 2 minutes into this game.
Gives the Warriors a 3-point lead. He not only scores himself, he gets his teammates involved too. He is third in the conference in assists. Just under 4 a game. So it all goes through Cartwright as Booker misses. Rebound by Agba.
Booker with 2 missed layups right underneath the rim. Could give the Cardinals a 1-point lead. Instead, they find themselves down by 3. Doing a nice job finding his way all the way up to the net. Just got to be able to finish at the end.
Cartwright drives on Alexander, floats one up, draws the contact. Alexander called for his first. Cartwright back to the free throw line, a place he is very comfortable. 81% on the season, 5th best in the conference.
We can already see Cartwright's playmaking skills being active here early on in this game, getting to the line again for the second time early on, really creating a lot of opportunities for the Warriors.
Knocks down the free throws. Early lead for the Warriors. Let's see. An offensive foul. It's going the other way on Zisk. His second personal foul. That's going to bring Ritzma off the bench. Not good news to 2.5 minutes into the ball game, and Paul Zisk already has 2 fouls.
Well, Colton Ritzman checks in for him, see if he can get going. He's done a nice job basically as a second string, playing second hand to Paul Zisk coming off the bench. He's been pretty good for the Cardinals, really good playmaker coming off the bench.
Ritzman had a career high, tied his career high with 10 points and 6 rebounds against Great Lakes Christian. Another bucket for Rochester. Cardinals need an answer. Swinging around, Winowicki has it deflected and stolen. Warriors come away with it. Klein stops. Inside, Agba in close, lays it up and in. 13-4 start for Rochester.
Just coming too easy for the Warriors. Cardinals really not having anything going right offensively and not having any defensive answers.
Booker drives, kicks. Alexander, three, no good. Good position by Agba. Pulls down the rebound. Cardinals 2 of 5 from the field. Fade away off the top of the backboard.
Should be out of bounds, but the refs allow it. Winowicki with the three-point attempt, again, no good.
Going to playground rules here.
Cartwright pulls down the rebound and takes it up at the other end of the court. Ricky Yan is blowing smoke here at the other end at the officials.
And he wants a timeout. The Cardinals getting run here in the first 4 minutes of the game, down 17-4. Red-hot Rochester Warriors shooting 7 for 8 from the field and also forcing 3 turnovers. Not the recipe for success for this Cardinal team right out of the gate.
And to add on to the injury there, I mean, not having Dominguez in there and then with Zisk with 2 fouls, seems like the Cardinals are not having anything going right for them. Completely the opposite script of what we saw earlier tonight on the women's side for Concordia.
Yeah, they're post. They don't have a lot of depth at the post position. You got basically Ritzma and Zisk in there as your 2 main big guys. I mean, they have bigger players who can, Winowicki can guard somebody who's bigger. He's sitting at 6'5". But Tyler Wisman might have to come off the bench, the freshman from Jackson.
Well, in the last week, the Cardinals have also added a new addition in the form of DeMonte Bean. Played football here at Concordia. Now that their season is done, he joins their squad. Averaged 9.7 points per game in high school, played 40 games, also had 6.7 rebounds a game, and almost 2 blocks in each contest. So it might be some added depth that you could see coming to the Cardinals front court here in the upcoming few weeks.
And he's played outside linebacker for the football team. He's doing a little bit of everything here at Concordia. Speaking of football player, Tyler Black entering the ball game for the Cardinals. Coach is telling me he's back to 100%. That's good news for the Cardinals.
Agba picks up his first foul and Rochester's first foul on the evening.
Matt Lockhart also checking into the ball game. He had a season-high 10 points, a career-high 6 boards, and again, another game where he has multiple blocks. Not imposing. He's 6'3". He's very athletic, very good timing. Really seen him grow this year, taking a big jump from his freshman season. Black outside to Alexander. Lockhart, nice fake in the corner, off the front rim, tapped out by Ritzma to Black. Got the hoop. Oh, I thought it was going down. Somehow hung in the air, got it up, drew the foul. Black will go to the line.
Really good move there by Matt Lockhart, even on that 3-point attempt. I mean, you got to take all the positive that you can right now if you're the Cardinals. Had a really good look, really good move coming off the bench, coming out of that timeout. So moving forward, see what he can do separating his defender.
Black shooting 65% from the free throw line this year. The junior from Grand Rapids, sports and entertainment business major. Got a lot of those floating around here in Concordia. Nearly lost it in the backcourt. That's Campbell. Seems a little more pressure defense from Concordia. In the corner, Campbell, nope. That one was Andrew Klein. And a carry called on Black. Another turnover for the Cardinals, their 4th here in the first 5 minutes.
Almost a call that's essentially been almost rendered obsolete in the game of basketball today, as
it
a lot
really
of dribbling techniques have kind of altered over the last few decades. But that one was just a little bit more egregious than what the ref wanted to see.
I mean, you have to really carry it to get called for a carry these days. Just about every level you see. As Black gets up, knocks it away from Agba. Starts the break for the Cardinals. Can they capitalize? Black, they're giving him the shot if he wants it. Sets a screen, finds Lockhart. Booker got hung up and reach-in foul called on number 10. That's Braylon Tony.
Austin Harless coming in for the Cardinals. 6'2" junior out of Holly, Michigan. Coming off a 4-point performance in their last contest, but also had 4 turnovers. So he looks to clean it up tonight against the Warriors.
One of their best catch-and-shoot players. Oh, there's a block up against the backboard. Andrew Klein getting up. Ball loose on the floor. Harless.
Might as well take it.
Yeah, Black's wide open. Leaves it short. Alexander fighting for the ball, and the Warriors come away with it.
Not the kind of confidence boost that you want out of that possession coming from the Cardinals. Had a lot of opportunities. Wide open three-point look, but unable to come up with anything.
Cartwright, jumper at the elbow off the front rim, rebounded by Alexander, who had 10 boards in the last game, 7 of them on the offensive glass. And a foul on the drive on number 22, Cap Wilson. I'm sure he won't be able to keep this up, but Cap Wilson, as we mentioned, 54% from 3, leading the conference, 10th in the nation, 15 of 28 from beyond the arc. They're going to have to keep a hand in his face. Black hung up. Finds Alexander, who drives in. Oh, nice fake. Little fade away. Maybe should have used the square there.
As my dad once told me, use the square, that's why it's there. But the Cardinals with another miss within about 5 feet of the rim, and it's really costing them here early on.
They're just 2 of 10 from the field. Shot from the wing is down. Abdou Guy, the junior from Senegal. Instant offense off the bench. Alexander trying to answer back. Ritzma with the offensive rebound. Down low to Alexander. Ritzma, 3, no good. Rebound by Guy, and a foul in the open court there with Harless trying to keep up with him.
Gerald Booker going to come back into the game as Greg Alexander heads to the bench. And Keenan Campbell coming back in for the Warriors as Peter Agba gets a rest.
Cardinals 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, 2 of 11, 18% from the field.
Already taken 5 3-pointers, normally not their strong suit.
They're going to bring Paul Zisk back into this ball game, and there is a foul. That's Noah Holly who's into the ball game for the Warriors. He draws the contact.
Foul called on Tyler Black. That'll be his first of the game.
Holly, the sophomore, 6'7" sophomore from Waterford, Michigan, went to Waterford Kettering. Now Paul Zisk coming back into the ball game after 2 early fouls. He replaces Ritzma.
Cardinals already with 3 offensive rebounds, something that they need to look to try to capitalize on, as they've only turned that into 2 second chance points. They have not allowed the Warriors any second chance points. However, the Warriors starting off on 8 of 10 shooting from the field has given them this 15-point lead.
Inside, Zisk, he's got a path, pump fake, gets up in the air. He got Holly up in the air and laid it off the glass. Ooh, nearly a giveaway. Oh. Turnover to the Cardinals. Oh. A bad turnover there for the Warriors. Now, Cardinals, I mean, after the really rough start here shooting the basketball, but still very early in this one. Only down by 13. Inside, Ziski's got the position. Easy two for Paul. That's why coach wanted to bring him in.
Much needed offensive production coming there from Paul Ziss the last 2 times down the court.
Comes a trap. Send it all the way across and everyone gets back. Good recovery for the Cardinals as they try to trap Cartwright. Campbell has it swatted. Was that Lockhart? Yes, it was.
Lockhart did a great job elevating to get the piece of that ball. This was a pretty deep reverse layup attempt there from Campbell.
If you were to look at the roster and say which player on this team is second in the team in blocks, I think you would maybe go through a few players before you get to Lockhart. He's got 9 on the season. Loose ball, Harless. Thought he was going to try to sneak it up to Booker. Probably made the right decision, but tried to force that one up. Warriors get it up to Holly. They've got numbers forward. Open 3. It's down for Ealing. The sophomore from McBain. One of their better 3-point shooters. Layup for Black is good.
Nice job by the Cardinals answering that 3-pointer there. Ealing has such a low start in his shot that if they are able to get someone within 5 feet of them, is Smith able to finish underneath the rim. Cartwright. But if they're able to get a hand within his face, he's not going to be able to pull up. As he's a dangerous 3-point shooter, as he's at 42% on the season.
Cartwright already with 9 points. Booker in traffic, hangs, hits, and he'll go to the line.
Those are the little victories that the Cardinals need in order to cut into this 12-point deficit.
Wholesale changes for both teams. Ritzma coming back in, Alexander, Tom Hronis coming in with Casanda. Now, watching, Hronis was out shooting baskets at halftime of the women's game, and I wasn't keeping track, but he was hitting a lot more than he was hitting a lot more than he was missing.
The other day in the gym with the ball corral rack that keeps track of your shooting percentage, I saw that he shot 1,000 shots, and he was hovering around 80% shooting. So if he's able to shoot that well with a hand in his face, then it's exactly what the Cardinals might need.
That's something that the Cardinals have needed, is that they've been able to recruit players who can really shoot the ball, like catch and shoot, and coach would call them practice shooters, but then bringing it into the game, creating your own shot, doing it with a hand in your face, always a different ball game. Moronis has shown a lot. He's got some courage out there. He's not afraid to shoot it. Agba down low into Ritzma, takes advantage of the size mismatch. Agba 6'5", 210. A 3-pointer for Hronis right on cue.
Hand in his face and everything. Great job there by Tom Hronis, knocking down the long ball and coming up with the steal possibly.
No, it stays with, and Ricky on can't believe it. It's going to stay with Rochester. Well, both coaches, it's always great when coaches are both yelling that they missed the call. It went somebody's way. I think he was like, the Warriors looking for a foul. Ricky Yon's looking for the ball. So it's an 11-point game. Rochester with the ball. Moronis hit a couple of 3-pointers in the Great Lakes Christian game. Off to a good start today. Agba fading on the baseline. Converts.
Agba having his way so far this evening. Now with 6 points on the night.
Tight defense on Booker. They don't want to give him any space. Alexander sneaks one into Ritzma. Off glass, a little too hard. There is not much room down there under the basket. These long, athletic Warriors. Campbell Swings it, now down low, Agba again. And now it's Ritzma who won the battle that time. Rips it away. Casanda attacks and will go to the line. He went right into the chest of Campbell. That's his second personal. That'll put Bernard Casanda at the free throw line.
Casanda doing a nice job so far tonight, being his role and doing a playmaking job. He's got that early bucket, started off the Cardinals with a 2-0 lead. Since then, it's been all Warriors as he heads to the free throw line, unable to convert on that first attempt.
As we've been saying all season long, it's been Casanda and Black battling for playing time at the point guard position. Casanda taking care of the basketball, putting the numbers up. He's at 2.7 assist to turnover ratio, second best on the team. But Black gives you a little bit more offense and a little bit more defense. But Casanda gives you the speed. He can break you down.
Cardinals have not been able to really cut into this Warrior the lead deficit they find themselves in. It's been hovering around 13 to 14 points. The off-ball foul is going to be called on Agba, and that's going to be his second of the evening.
Agba's got 2, and that's Hronis who drew the foul. Cardinals out there with Ritzma, Hronis, Booker, Casanda with the ball, and Alexander who inbounded it.
And if the Cardinals need to cut into this deficit, which they do, if they're not able to find answers from the field, try to drive to the hoop, as it's going to be free throws from every foul here on out for the last 8 minutes of this first half. Easy way to cut into a 13-point deficit that they find themselves in.
And this is and there's a block knocked away. Holly recovers. The Cardinals have shot 70% as a team from the free throw line. That's the best number in the Ricky Yan era. Three-pointer on the way. Oh, missed everything. Andrew Klein, also a good three-point shooter normally. He's struggled as of late.
Foul going to be called on Logan Ealing as Greg Alexander going to head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Abdou Guy checking into the game for the Warriors. 6'5" junior out of Senegal.
Alexander hitting 83% on the season from the free throw line, third best in the conference. He's been a tremendous addition coming here for his senior year. Well traveled from Maryland up to Vermont and now to Ann Arbor. He's definitely experiencing the East Coast and the Midwest. At 14 and 10, his first Concordia double-double, fourth of his career against Great Lakes Christian. Played 37 minutes in that game, too. He is leading the team in minutes, and he just doesn't stop. Ball knocked away by Hronis, stolen by Booker. Pushing it. Alexander stops, hangs, hits.
Great no-look pass there at half court by Booker. Hronis is wide open on the right-hand side, but streaking down low was Greg Alexander and able to finish underneath the cup.
And smart by not going into Guy. Guy was posting up waiting for probably the contact, and he hits on the other end. Abdou Guy. Ball nearly stolen by Holly. Alexander drives, hangs, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Alexander called for his second personal, so it was Zisk with 2 and Alexander with 2. Agba and Campbell each with 2 for the Warriors.
Brendan Fleming into the game for the Warriors, bringing it up the court.
Watch out for Cap Wilson, number 22 out there with Abdou Guy and Noah Holly. Here's Guy with the left hand, drives on Winowicki and finishes.
Great explosive from there by Guy as Alexander pulls up from 3, and that falls short.
Winowicki offensive board, putback is good. Jordan Winowicki, his first bucket of the game, starting his 6th straight game for the Cardinals.
And that's their 5th offensive rebound that they've converted into 4 points, and they're going to need a couple more of those in order to cut into this 12-point deficit that they find themselves in as guys wide open defensive.
Somebody lost him, and Rochester is the one that wants to talk about it. 37-23 is the score. Rochester in front. It has been up and down action. The Cardinals have recovered from a slow start, shooting 38%, now 39%. On the other side, though, Rochester, 75% from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. So room for improvement for the Cardinals, although for Rochester, you can always say pretty good chance they're going to come down to earth eventually. They're not going to shoot 75% the entire game.
And the Cardinals are keeping it pretty clean with 6 turnovers, which matches the Warriors' 6 turnovers as well. It's just a matter of them not being able to convert on their shots. They even have 3 more shot attempts than the Warriors, 23-20 in that category. Points in the paint are pretty even. Warriors lead that one 20-16. Warriors getting a little bit more bench production than the Cardinals, 14-7 there. And as we've been mentioning, the Cardinals have 4 second chance points off of those 5 offensive rebounds. But the points off turnover, Warriors lead that one 6-4.
Still that 14-point deficit. The Cardinals break with Hronis, Winowicki, Booker, Casanda, and Alexander. Clearly, Coach got a favorable report. It was actually Eddie Golston, the assistant, who was out working with Hronis halftime of the women's game. And I think word got back to Coach Jan that he's shooting the ball pretty well. And there's Booker putting in another bucket. He's got 4.
Booker with 2 early misses right underneath the basket, able to convert there. Doing a nice job really making his own path, even with defenders in his way. He's a great playmaker. We saw a lot of that earlier on in his career. Now bouncing back from that ACL injury.
Holly, Alexander and Casanda both going for the ball, and that will give it back to Rochester. Tough break for the Cardinals. Andrew Klein checking back into the game. That'll bring Noah Holly back to the bench. Klein had 14 points, 5 assists against Madonna in their last game. Klein all the way across, wide open on the wing, left it short. That was Guy from the Cardinals.
Chance for the Cardinals to take it down to single digits. Able to make a long ball here.
Booker. Oh, he's going to take that 3, and he's going to hit that 3. Single digit lead now, down to 9. Cardinals chipping away. Just the second 3-pointer of the game for the Cardinals. Hronis hit one, and Booker just hit one. Fleming finds Cartwright on the wing. Booker staying with him, finds Guy inside, unable to hit. Oh, but offensive rebound, Cap Wilson. He does it all for this team. Their second leading scorer, third leading rebounder, and he can hit from outside. Another guy who can hit from outside, Tom Hronis.
Nice job by Hronis. Got the space he needed, able to set his feet, square to the basket, knocking another one down as he's 2 for 2 from the field and 2 for 2 from 3.
And he's got a new uniform number too, number 15 now. It's working out for him. That floater's off the mark. Another offensive rebound and a putback and a free throw coming to Cap Wilson. The 6'6" senior from Davison, Michigan will go to the line.
In the last 2 defensive times that the Cardinals were down underneath the basket, there were 3 bodies right there by Cap, but he was still able to impose his will, come up with 4 points with the potential to knock down his 5th here from the free throw line.
So Hronis with 2 threes in a game for the 3rd time. The junior from North Ridgeville, Ohio, transfer from Lorain Community College. Just firing on the rebound. The Cardinals pull it down, and they are trailing by 10. Booker attacks but runs into a wall. Alexander's free on the wing, and he gets fouled attempting the three-point shot. They're going to put the best free throw shooter on the team to the free throw line for 3.
Just didn't give him the landing space that they've really issued an important thing here early on in this collegiate season, really making sure that it protects the shooters as they're coming down, the defenders coming down high flying. Got to give them the space to land so that we have less lower leg injuries.
Alexander second on the team in scoring, just under 13 a game. Also their second leading rebounder, about 5.5.
Already leads the Cardinals tonight in rebounds with 3 of his own as he knocks down the second of the 3 free throw attempts.
Well, that was one thing that the Cardinals needed to address in the offseason was they needed some outside shooting. They brought in Tom Hronis, who shot 43% from 3, hit it 93 three-pointers at Lorain Community College last year, and Alexander, who hit 39% from 3 at Green Mountain College for his junior season. It's a 7-point game. Cartwright launches and hits. Cartwright's got 12 to lead the Warriors. They answer right back. Back to a 10-point game. Alexander finds Casanda, drives, kicks. Ritzma, 3 is good.
Nice knockdown by the big man in the corner, able to cut it back to 7.
It's not just a post player. He's 2 for 4 from beyond the arc this year. Kind of like Jamae Simmons in a way. You know, it's not a play you're going to necessarily draw up, but they'll take it. It's Casanda running the floor, lays it up and in. Cuts the lead in half. It is a 5-point game now.
Casanda flying down the court, picking up a lot of speed, streaking on the left side, able to go up and under with the right hand.
Alexander called for the foul. That is his 3rd. That's a tough break for the Cardinals. Having a good game. 7 points, 3 boards. They're going to have to take him out.
The 6'7" sophomore guard for the Rochester Warriors checking into the game in the form of Noah Holly. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 6-point lead now for the Warriors.
They're going to bring Hronis back off the bench. That's a good idea, the way he's shooting. 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Out there, Lockhart, Ritzma, Casanda, Booker, and Hronis.
And taking a positive thing without Paul Zisk being out there and the Cardinals only being down by 7, he's going to be very fresh in the second half coming out with those 2 fouls, obviously. But if he's smart about it and able to capitalize on some of the Warriors' mistakes, could be exactly what the Cardinals need.
Casanda drives. Hronis, 3 on the way. Oh, it just goes in and out. It looked good. Cartwright running the floor, finds a guy, blocked by Lockhart. He does it again.
Lockhart high flying as that one unable to connect with Ritzma. Would have been a nice transition there for the Cardinals.
There's Lockhart again defending. Didn't get a piece of it, but he altered the shot on Cartwright. The Cardinals down by 7 with the ball. That was a tough break. That ball to, and that one's picked. Back the other way and laying it up and in is Braylon Toney, the freshman from River Rouge, Michigan. Under a minute to play.
And what could have been a 4-point deficit is now back up to 9. Huge swing there for the Warriors to retain this lead here.
Oh, there's a giveaway, and Hronis thought that he was giving it right back to Booker. Booker had already made his move. Lockhart unable to save it. Hronis is going to come out. Tyler Black to check back in. 44 seconds to go here in the first half.
Cardinals were getting the swing and the momentum switch that they needed as Cartwright takes a long three and able to connect as they want to go 2 for 1.
Yep, 17 points for Cartwright. The Cardinals should have seen coming. Booker splits the defense and keeps his dribble. Picks it up. Good ball movement for the Cardinals. Can they produce? Oh, Lockhart got a piece there. Fake by Black, goes to the basket, lays it up and in.
Strong move there by Tyler Black, going up with this strong right hand on that left side, able to connect. Cardinals down by 10.
5 seconds left. Gonna watch out for Cartwright. He's gonna try to put one up. Nope, finds Guy. On the wing, did he get it off? No, he didn't. Wouldn't have counted anyway. Cardinals, after a very, very slow start, they come back and make it a very manageable 10-point game. Rochester shot over 70% for a good chunk of that first half. And here they are within range heading into halftime. Take a look at the numbers on the individual side of things. Armand Cartwright, 17 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc, 5 of 5 from the free throw line to go along with 3 rebounds and an assist. He's doing it all. Abdu Guy, 10 points for the Warriors. Also Cap Wilson, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Peter Agba, 6 points and 3 rebounds. For the Cardinals, it is a balanced attack, a little bit of everything. Got Alexander leading the way with 7 points, 3 rebounds. He had 3 personal fouls, though. Had to come out. That's going to hurt. 7 points for Gerald Booker to go along with 2 assists. Tom Hronis coming off the bench, couple of 3-pointers, 6 points for him. Zisk came in, picked up 2 early fouls, finished with 6 points. Going to have a big second half for him, I imagine. Tyler Black, 6 points, couple of rebounds. Kasanda with 4 points. Oh, pretty balanced attack. Ritzma hit a 3-pointer in there as well. Rochester, 65% from the field. Concordia, after starting out 18% early, they've got that up to 50%. 15 of 30 shooting, 4 of 12 from beyond the arc. Rochester, 5 of 8 from 3. Free throw, 6 of 8 for the Warriors, 7 of 10 for the Cardinals. Rebounding edge goes to the Warriors, 16 to 13. But the Cardinals have the edge on the offensive glass, 5-4. Cardinals lead in assists, 7-4. Each team with 5 steals. Cardinals 9 turnovers. Rochester's turned those into 11 points. Rochester committed 7 turnovers. Cardinals have turned those into 6 points. Each team with 2 blocks in the game. And that, as they start dancing here at halftime, and the Cardinals trailing Rochester 51-41. Josh Hackala and Jacob Brenke here with you. We'll take a break and we'll come back for the second half as the Cardinals looking to get back in the win column here at the Fieldhouse. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse, where we are at halftime, getting ready to start the second half between the Rochester Warriors and the Concordia Cardinals. The men are trailing by 10, 51-41 after a very slow start. They have battled back. Josh Hackala, Jacob Brenke here with you. And, you know, I was thinking to myself that this is a game. They have a long athletic team, a lot of weapons. But the Cardinals showed that they are not going away, and if they could put together a run, they're right back in this game.
And Thomas Aronis with some big threes coming off the bench, and another one that just rimmed out and almost fell down. But a couple of turnovers there late as the Cardinals were streaking to cut into that Warrior lead. Kind of shot themselves in the foot. They got it down to 44-39 with about 2 minutes remaining in the first half. That was the closest that they were able to make it after taking the 2-0 lead off the Cassandra opener. But the Cardinals have also missed 7 shots within 5 feet of the cup, which could translate into 14 points, a 3-point lead, but instead they find themselves down by 10, not making those easy buckets. So if they are able to change that to start the second half off here, might have a different game here entering the final 10 minutes.
And to be fair, this is a long and athletic Warriors team, especially in the post. They've got guys, you know, like the Agba and Cap Wilson, Andrew Klein's getting in there. They're tough to score against especially when you're in close. They've been contested shots for sure. Cardinals are going to start off with their starting 5: Cassandra, Booker, Zisk, Alexander, and Winowicki. Looks like the same starting 5 there as Booker knocks it away. 15 on the shot clock. Same thing, Campbell, Agba, Wilson, Klein, and Cartwright, their leading scorer, 17 points, averaging 20 a game, third best in the conference. Kicking out to Campbell, 6 to shoot. He floats one up, off glass, and good. His first bucket of the game.
That's a tough shot. That's not one that many are able to connect on, especially coming off the glass. Very impressive shot there by Klein to open up the second half.
It was a tough angle. Paul Zisk, limited playing time in the first half due to foul trouble. Winowicki gets on the board.
Booker's misdirection with his vision tonight has been absolutely prime, as that's another no-look pass that results in an assist for him. Another Cardinal bucket.
Cardinals started out the game 18% from the field, and that was a wild reverse shot finished by Agba. Started out 18%, creeped up to 50% at halftime. Big improvement as they came alive in the second half of the first half. And there is Paul Zisk, left it short. Warriors come away with it. Here's Cap Wilson, the best three-point shooters in the country in the early part of the season. Klein. Cartwright on the wing, rebound by Campbell, and Warriors getting another crack at it.
That's their 6th offensive rebound on the night, the first time now that the Warriors have out-rebounded in the offensive rebound category over the Cardinals.
And there's a throwdown by Cap Wilson. He's the three-point shooter, but he can take it to the rack. He can do it all for this team.
And again, cutting in with that left hand, he's got that misdirection. There's not many left-handed shooters here in the WAC. That one last touch by Alexander, and that's another Cardinal turnover. Ricky Yan calls a timeout.
Not a good start for the Cardinals, though they're down by 14. 17:52 to go in this one. The Cardinals have lost 4 straight, looking to bounce back. Earlier, if you joined us, the women won their second straight game, beating Rochester 61-41. And Jacob, it was all about defense in that game.
It was a great defensive effort by the Cardinals, really limiting the Warrior shots, keeping them under 30% shooting throughout the whole game. And the stat that stuck out to me is that there was a total of 18 minutes and 2 seconds that the Warriors could not make a basket. And, yeah, you can put that on some of their shooters and saying that they maybe not have taken the best shots. But you got to give the Cardinal defense some credit for absolutely not giving them any room to feel comfortable or get any rhythm going. That's almost in a complete half that they did not allow a basket other than 1 point at the free throw line. Absolutely outstanding by the Cardinals.
A season-high 28 turnovers forced, a season-high 16 steals. Their backcourt pressure was tremendous. Simmons led the team with 15 points. Williams had 13. Katie Snow had another all-around great game. 10 points, 7 assists, 6 boards, 3 steals. She probably sold some popcorn somewhere in there. The junior, the All-American from last year, helping the team get above 500, 5-4 on the season, 3-2 in the WAC. So a really good win by the women earlier. The men trying to get back into this one, down 14 here in the early part of the second half. Still out there with their starting 5. Booker, Cassandra, Alexander, Zisk, and Winniwicki. Cartwright. Inside Agba, he's got position. Zisk alters the shot.
Great position there by Zisk, able to keep himself out of getting called for that foul. There's Booker's three-pointer, goes long, pulled down by Cap.
Booker has not hit one three-pointer earlier. He's 1 for 2. On stat, that's pretty nice for Booker. He's got a 3.6 assist to turnover ratio, best on the team. That shot off the mark. Cardinals come away. Alexander in transition, good. Greg Alexander hit 3 fouls in the first half. He's got 10 points. They need him on the floor.
Nice job by Alexander. Now leads all Cardinal shooters with 10 points. Doing a nice job, giving them that added boost that they need right now, finding themselves down by 11.
Senior transfer from Green Mountain College. I have no idea if that has anything to do with the coffee, and Zisk called for the foul. He's got a smile on his face that either projects guilt or it's a bad call and he's trying not to yell about it. I can never tell.
And that third foul picked up by Zisk is going to have Ritzma coming off the bench.
I'm going to lean toward he thinks it was a bad call because it looked like he got all ball. So Zisk is going to check out Ritzma, who's played pretty well in his absence. He'll check in. Ritzma hit a three-pointer earlier. Agba knocks down the free throw. Agba, the transfer from the University of Akron. Booker drives, gets to the basket, hangs. Agba altered the shot and comes away with the ball. Layup, nobody home. Campbell with an easy 2.
Cardinals got to have an answer for that on defense. Can't allow those easy buckets.
Booker, deep 3, off the back iron, long rebound to Winniwicki. Cassandra. Alexander spins, finds Cassandra in the corner. Oh, and he traveled.
It's a great position there by Abdu Guy, really cutting off that baseline. Cassandra wasn't expecting to run into a wall, found himself bouncing off of him. Put one too many feet on the floor. Noah Holly back into the game. Braylon Toney checking in for the Warriors.
Cardinals trying to put on some pressure. Yeah. Alexander, Gardy, Cartwright up top. Toney. Oh, offensive rebound by Guy. Tapped up, and we got a body on the floor, and that's going to be a foul. Called on Alexander. Yeah, he's got 4 personal fouls. That is a killer. The Cardinals team needs to get back in this game with some shooting. That's one of their best shooters, and he's going to have a seat.
It's pretty unacceptable for one of the smallest players on the court right now to come up with a rebound there, the second offensive rebound on that possession, and head to the line to convert with some points. Tyler Black and Tom Haronis checking in for the Cardinals as Alexander takes a seat with the 4 fouls. Cassandra takes a break.
So they've got some shooters on the floor. Black can bring you some defense, and he can get to the rack.
Seen Lockhart get up and get 2 huge blocks on the Warriors on the defensive end as well.
Black running the show up here on the side. Here's Booker. Lockhart lost his feet and kept it alive. Got it to Black. Find Booker on the side. No good. Boy, missed opportunity there.
Cardinals find themselves trailing at the largest deficit of the game as it only grows there with the three-pointer there from Cap Wilson.
We talked all about how good Cap Wilson is from three-point land. That was his first three-point attempt of the game, and it hurt. 65-46 is the score. 4 players in double figures for the Warriors, led by Cartwright with 17, Wilson with 13, Guy and Agba with 10. For the Cardinals, Alexander's their leading scorer, but unfortunately he's on the bench with 4 personal fouls. The rest pretty scattered. Hronis with a couple threes with 6. Zisk also on the bench with 3 fouls. He's got 6. Booker with 7.
Not having Emmanuel Dominguez here with that front court depth really hurts the Cardinals this evening. He averages about between 10 and 11 points a game. Could really cut into this, what they find now is almost a 20-point deficit, and could really change the game for them, but obviously he's sidelined tonight with an ankle injury.
Yeah, Manny Dominguez in the last game against Great Lakes Christian started the game, played about 8 minutes, re-injured that ankle, and just things were just not looking good, and they had to sit him out, and that was his 100th collegiate game for the Cardinals. So game number 101 will have to wait. Not a serious injury from what we understand, so he should be back at it pretty quickly. Booker works his way and kicks it out over the head of Black. Turnover for the Cardinals.
That's their 12th of the evening. Not what they need in order to cut into this 19-point hole that they have dug themselves in.
And Rochester has turned their 12 turnovers into 12 points tonight. And that shot missed. Guy with the offensive rebound. Putback is good. And you can make that 14 points off turnovers. And we got a whistle and a foul away from the basket. That's going to be called on Cartwright, his first.
Rochester on an 8-0 run in the last 3.5 minutes of play here in the second half. Something the Cardinals need to try to get out of if they want to have a chance later on in this game.
Harless on the wing, finds Ritzma in the post. Backs in on Agba. Kicks out, wide open, Tyler Black. No good, tapped out, and Black gets the rebound. Fakes. Good ball movement, Hronis. Good! Season high 3 3-pointers for Tom Hronis. All that extra practice has been paying off for him. As I mentioned, he was making a ton of them during the halftime. It was almost a halftime show put on by an understated halftime show by Tom Hronis during the women's game earlier. Black gets to the rack and will go to the line.
Tyler Black, 2 of 4 from the field tonight. Good for 6 points as he's added 2 from the free throw line. He is not able to knock down a long ball in his 2 attempts. He's also able to rip down 3 rebounds and add an assist to his stat column.
We're talking about Tom Hronis' career at Lorain Community College. He A very pedestrian 5 points. You know, you're a freshman, you're working your way in, coming off the bench, and then he started nearly every game his sophomore year, averaged about 15 points a game. He broke the school record with 9 3-pointers in a game, and there's a turnover created by Tom.
Excellent awareness there from Tom Hronis, being aggressive there, also being smart with those 2 fouls that he has, trying to do everything that he can to try to chip into this hole.
Well, 13 minutes. Basketball is a game of runs, so. And there's another whistle, and Tyler Black. They're going to call that on the floor, though. Third team foul for the Warriors. Black will inbound. They're going to have to get it in. And he threw it off of Cartwright. That was a smart move because they were about to get him for 5 seconds.
Cardinals definitely look to capitalize off of that Tom Hronis forced turnover.
Pass into Hronis, gets his man up in the air, and he'll go to the free throw line. Now the 4th team foul for Rochester. They got Noah Holly up in the air. That's his 2nd personal. No real foul trouble. Cannon Campbell has got 3 for the Warriors. As I mentioned, Alexander with 4 for the Cardinals, Zisk with 3.
Got to convert on these free throw attempts here as Colton Ritzma falls short on the first one. Cardinals now 8 of 13 from the charity stripe tonight. Able to split them there on the second half.
Cardinals as a team, 70% from the line. The best of any team from the Ricky Yon era. It's a nice change of pace. Last year was their worst at 61%.
Cartwright able to finish underneath the net there for the Warriors.
Just under his season average of 20 a game. Black again gets to the rack.
Tyler Black now with 9 points. About to surpass Alexander with leading the team with 10. Austin Harlow's going to pick up a foul there. That'll be his 2nd.
This game slowed down a little bit. Warriors going to take it out. Here's Campbell. Holly. Ball loose, stolen by Ritzma.
Good hands there by Black. Able to poke that one out.
Among the league leaders in steals. And that one's stolen away, and Klein the other way for 2.
Klein did a nice job there, really reading the pass there from Tom Hronis. Really, that's one of the things I think is keeping him on the bench and not starting is his telegraph passes, and Matt Lockhart's fake does not find the bottom of the net.
Oh, he had as good a look as you're going to ever get, and there's a reverse layup from Cartwright for 2. He's got 21 as this game is up to a 20-point advantage for Rochester. Black, he's got an open 3, fakes, goes in, has it blocked by Holly. Abdu Guy comes away with it for Rochester. 11 minutes to go. Black fighting for the rebound, and that's going to be a loose ball foul, I believe.
Zisk, Booker, and Alexander checking back in for the Cardinals, and a new face, Kip French, coming off the bench for the Cardinals. 6-foot freshman guard out of Howell, Michigan.
Making his 4th appearance of the season. He played a few minutes in the Great Lakes Christian game. And Kip can shoot the 3, and that is why he is in there. See if he gets some opportunities. Oh, wild shot by Cartwright. The kind of shots you take when you're up by 20. Nice pass, and French hits the deck. It's only the 6th team foul, I believe, on Rochester.
Peter Ogba checking back in for the Warriors after a few minutes on the bench. He sends Noah Holly back over to the Rochester sideline.
Now check that 5th team foul for Rochester. Alexander in the game, playing with 4 fouls, drives to the basket, scores.
Nice drive there by Alexander with the fresh legs coming off the bench. Now leading the Cardinals with 12 points on 3 of 7 shooting from the field, and adding a 3-pointer to his tally as well.
Guy backs in on Lockhart, floats one up and over him.
Pretty big mismatch there. Guy on Lockhart able to take advantage of it with the height and go up and over with a little teardrop from about 10 feet out.
Lockhart loses his man. Oh, did he get a piece of it? I think he did. Did well to get rid of him, but unable to get the shot off. Klein finds Agba for an easy deuce.
Great awareness there by Klein. Agba with the nice pick and roll, able to fill that left-hand lane and lay it up and in for the easy bucket for the Warriors.
Alexander for 3. Off the front rim. Cardinals struggling here in the second half. And that's outscored 28-14 here in the second half. And starting to break open here at the field house. Booker keeps his feet, picks up his dribble. Still 10 to shoot for the Cardinals. Zisk inside, right hand, left it short.
Zisk really needed to just recenter his center of gravity there and just be able to get that power and explosiveness, but unable to do so.
That's offensive foul. Agba crashing into Zisk. He saw it coming. Agba's 3rd. Let's go bring Cannon Campbell off the bench. Interesting stat about Campbell is that, as I mentioned, I was boasting about a pretty solid 3.6 assist-to-turnover ratio for Gerald Booker leading the team. Cannon Campbell has an 11 assist-to-turnover ratio. That leads the nation. And I thought it was going to be one of those players, doesn't get to play a lot, so, they maybe comes off the bench. No, he's a starter. And he's rocking an 11 assist-to-turnover ratio. But another number, he just picked up his 4th personal foul, so he's going to have a seat.
Braylon Toney comes into the game for him.
So Kip French going to the free throw line for the first time in his college career. The business major from Howell, Michigan. They see him as a future point guard for this team. Probably 4th on the list in the point guard depth chart. Moving up, of course, with Manny being out tonight. He got the attention of the Concordia coaching staff by helping Howell get to the state semifinals. It was the first time that Howell had made it to the state semifinals since 1927. And he was a big part of that, and Coach Ricky Yon took notice and brought him in.
It'll be free throws the rest of the way for the Cardinals in the final 8:30 of the second half, as Rochester now has 17 fouls on the half.
Those were the first 2 points of Kip French's college career, coming at the free throw line. Zisk got a piece of that on the way in, and it was Cap Wilson with the putback. Still 8 minutes to go in this one. Zisk backing in on Agba. They've been doing battle. They find Winnewicky. Three-pointer is down.
7 3-pointer connected there for the Cardinals. They're now 7 of 21 on the night, 33%. That's been a long 5 seconds.
Did he call a timeout? Yeah, he did. Timeout called. 7:38 to go. 30-second timeout for Rochester. The Cardinals came into this game having dropped 4 straight. Been a really up and down season. They started out the season red hot. We didn't know what to expect. You know, you hit 100 points in back-to-back games against St. Clair College and Wright State Lake. Then you dropped 3 straight, that heartbreaker here at Defiance College on our home floor. Nearly knocked off #1 Spring Arbor on the road. And falling to Goshen College on the road. And you're thinking, okay, well, you got a late buzzer beater. Well, it was a buzzer. What, 7 seconds left, I think, when you hit the game winner for Defiance. You had a tough game against the #1 team in the country, and then you lose a road game to a good Goshen College team. They come back here. They beat Siena Heights on their home floor. They have lost 4 straight to Taylor, Lawrence Tech, U of M Dearborn, and Great Lakes Christian.
Cardinals once only trailed this game by 5 points at just over 2 minutes in the first half.
Look at that block by Alexander.
But now it's been all the way up to 24 points just a few minutes ago.
Cardinals out there with Cassandra, Zisk, Winnewicky, Alexander, and Kip French, who's got the ball. Spins in the lane, lost it. He tried to get it over to Winnewicky. It's going to stay with the Cardinals with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Tyler Black going to come back into the game for the Cardinals alongside Cannon Campbell for Rochester.
He's going to replace French. His first points as a Cardinal, got that checked off the to-do list. And that ball is intercepted up to Cartwright. He's going to throw it up and miss it.
You could almost tell that he was going to wind up for something big there, just unable to connect there. Jordan Winnewicky with the pressure as his long ball does not connect.
Alexander still on the attack. Cassandra. Winnewicky's going to give another go and hit it.
Nice shot there by Winnewicky, even though he just airballed the last one, having the confidence to know his spot, trust his skills and his ability, and knock down the long ball. Winnewicky now with 10 points on the night, 2 of 4 shooting from long range.
Came into the game shooting 26% from 3. Something he's working on and looking better at, and he's getting more playing time. We'll see that percentage creep up. Cassandra kicks, and is that a charge?
It's going to be an offensive foul there called on Cassandra as Campbell saw him flying in there. Smart positioning there from the junior guard. Andrew Klein checking back in for the Warriors as Peter Agba takes a seat on the bench. Cardinals trying to chip into this lead here with 6 minutes remaining here in the game.
Well, one thing you know about Coach Rick Eon, he's got to coach him to the end. And there's always something to work on, and that ball will go to the Cardinals. That pressure pays off.
And this is where the Cardinals got to capitalize. They got to capitalize off these turnovers. They only have 7 points off of 10 Warrior turnovers.
Oh, that looked like he went down pretty easy.
Braylon Toney picks up the foul there as Greg Alexander heads to the free throw line. Alexander 5 of 5 from the charity stripe this evening. Able to knock down the first of two. Rochester getting a lot of shots tonight, already at 58 so far, and shooting 57% as Alexander stays perfect from the line. Ricky Yan calls a timeout, full timeout taken by the Cardinals. They find themselves down by 16, just under 6 remaining.
Well, and the Cardinals, I think they never really quite recovered from that early, and this has been a theme of theirs in the last few games. They're not able to dig themselves out of that early hole. And once they did, you thought maybe coming into halftime, they were looking like they were going to be right there. But right at the beginning of the second half, Rochester grew that lead, and they haven't recovered since.
Yeah, Cardinals really sputtered from the start, and that all goes from the 50 points in the paint that the Rochester Warriors have been able to dump on the Cardinals this evening. Cardinals behind in that category by 22 points with 28 points in the paint of their own. Their 15 turnovers certainly don't help, as this deficit is now at 16 points, with Rochester shooting extremely hot from the field as well as beyond the arc, 57% from inside the arc and 46 from beyond. Also adding 9 free throws from the free throw line and out-rebounding the Cardinals by 8 with 3 more offensive rebounds for the Warriors.
Cardinals will break the huddle with Zisk, Alexander, Black, Kasanda, and Winniwicki. The Warriors have Campbell, Tony, Wilson, Klein, and Cartwright out there. There's Klein, guarded by Kasanda. Cartwright on the three, rattles out. See if the Cardinals can finish strong here at home. Black for three. No good. Offensive rebound by Zisk. He's going to put it right back up. Oh, he missed it from in close.
I don't think that got any part of the Warrior defender, but
I don't think that it's one of those like it was almost too easy. So
at the other end, Winniwicki picks up the blocking foul. Klein will head to the line to shoot 2.
I think we saw that in the NBA. There was one of those maybe not top 10 moments that I saw, unfortunately, but it was very similar. But they have an excuse. They get paid.
Klein unable to knock down the first free throw there.
6 points, 3 assists for Andrew Klein from Clarkston, Michigan. 75% free throw shooter.
Tom Hronis going to check back in for the Cardinals, which will send Kasanda to the bench. Abdu Guy back in for the Warriors. Tony gets another rest.
Yep, and I can hear from the Warriors coaching staff telling him to stay on Hronis because they've gotten the memo that he can shoot, and he's got the ball now. Alexander. Zisk, 6 to shoot. Have to force one up, and that's Black muscling his way to the basket and scoring. Tyler Black, he's back to 100%. I think it's official. Got 11 points tonight.
Playing really strong. Former football player really showing his strength there by creating that lane for himself.
Hronis all over Campbell. This is how you earn your playing time. In moments like this, you know, you're still playing hard. 5 to shoot, and boy, Black got the jump ball call, and that is going, and there's our human possession arrow tells us it is going to be Cardinal basketball. Like somebody didn't charge the batteries in the possession arrow, it looks like.
I think we got a faulty wire in that one. Gonna have to call IT in order to fix that bad boy.
Hronis.
Cardinals really starting their plays really deep from beyond the arc. Going to try to want to penetrate it a little bit more as
Oh!
Heronis knocks it down.
I was just about to comment and about Abdu Guy was all over him. And I thought for sure, I was like, there's no way he's going to get a shot off in that situation. And sure enough, Heronis fading away, top of the key, knocks down the triple. And just like that, it's a 12-point game.
5.5 minutes ago, the lead was double for the Warriors, 24-point lead at the 79-55 mark. But now the Cardinals are really fighting their way back in here. They're not done yet. Head coach Clint Pleasant for the Warriors definitely talking to his guys, making sure that they know this one isn't over. We saw a heartbreaker here earlier in the form of Defiance knocking off the Cardinals off after their 2-0 hot start. Knocking down, just playing all the way until the end, knocking down big shots. You never know what can happen. You just got to get hot at the right time.
Kip French coming into the game. I took Heronis out of the game. Guy going in. Oh, and he lays it up and missed it. Loose ball, that's going to be Rochester ball. Boy, that would have been nice. I think Zisk was looking maybe at getting a charge there. Boy, it seems like taking Heronis out when he was, I mean, he's got 4 3-pointers today, feeling good, and the Warriors nearly throw that one away. Well, they've got defense out on the floor. Here's Guy into the lane, puts one up, draws the contact. He'll go to the line.
Tyler Black picks up his second foul, and right on cue, Heronis at the scorer's table ready to check back in for the Cardinals.
Well, this is the guy you want on the free throw line. He's 55% from the stripe. And he hits the first.
Kip French heading back out for the Cardinals.
His first trip to the line today. He's got 15 points, 6 of 12 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 5 boards. And he hits them both. No time to waste for the Cardinals. Black drives on, kicks out. Heronis for 3, high arcing shot, unable to hit. Tight defense here for the Cardinals. They're not giving up. Oh, he traveled, and there's a turnover for the Cardinals.
The 2 3-pointers that Heronis has missed have just rattled in and out. Not bad shots whatsoever. No matter when he shoots that long ball, it seems like it's very close to going in, if not going all the way through.
Alexander will toss it in. 3 minutes to go. Do the Cardinals have one last run left in them? Zisk backs in. Heronis open, throws it up and drops it.
Heronis now 5 of 7 from long range. 15 points off the 3-pointer. Cardinals now down by 11.
Cartwright guarded by Winowicki. They've got missed shot there from Klein, and now here come the Cardinals. 2:25 to go. Inside, Zisk under the basket. Oh, they called a foul. Okay, so wait, what? So Campbell is called for the foul. One official called it.
And that's Campbell's 5th foul. He's done for the night.
Campbell checks out 4 points and 3 rebounds and an assist. So one official had it, I think he was calling out of bounds. I'm not really sure what, he had pointed the direction of the Warriors. But the other official overruled him and called the foul, and that puts Zisk at the free throw line. And he misses. Boy, that's a tough miss. Cardinals 13 of 19 from the free throw line today. Zisk, normally a pretty good free throw shooter, 69% on the season. And he misses them both. Oh, tough misses for the Cardinals.
Not the empty possession that they need if they want to cut into this 11-point deficit with just over 2 minutes remaining. Got to knock down any bucket, any chance that they get.
And they got some good free throw shooters on this Warriors team, so that's not good news for the Cardinals, but see what they can do. 10 to shoot. Cartwright lays it up, but draws the foul.
And that's exactly what the Warriors wanted, able to drain that shot clock basically out of every juice that it had. And Cartwright's going to head to the free throw line to add to this lead.
He's their guy. 81% coming into today.
Horonis back into the game for the Cardinals. Matt Lockhart set to check in as well. Greg Alexander's night is done as he picks up his 5th foul. He's the second leading Cardinal scorer with 14 points on 3 of 6 shooting. 1 of 5 from downtown. Had a great night from the free throw line. 7 of 7. Pulled down 5 rebounds and added 1 assist. Lockhart checks in for Kip French.
So a season high for Horonis with 15 points. He had 12 back in that Goshen College game. Cardinals got to hurry up. I mean, it's a tough deficit, but got to keep running. And round he goes. Round and round he goes. Horonis in the corner. It's up, it's down again. Oh my goodness. Tom Horonis with 6 3-pointers.
And you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, or maybe we were even off air at halftime, that he's that Kyle Korver-esque player, and that's exactly what he does. He hasn't taken any shots inside the arc, isn't a driver, isn't a big playmaker, but if he's able to find his spot on the court from beyond the arc, it's almost cash money every time.
He has got 6 3-pointers. The Cardinals as a team haven't hit 6 3-pointers in like 3 out of the last 4 games, and they had 8 as a team in their Great Lakes Christian game. He has a one-man wrecking crew coming off the bench.
He's their leading scorer now with 18 points.
So they bring in Kip French. This seems to be like an offense for defense situation. I haven't seen enough of Kip to know, and that seems to be what is happening here with the Cardinals. So 10-point game, 1:35 to go. Can the Cardinals do the impossible? And they're going to foul Tony. Braylon Tony, the freshman. They're going to put a freshman from River Rouge on the free throw line.
Horonis and this checking back into the game as Kip French and Matt Lockhart head back to the bench. 10-point game.
Tony is 6 of 8 from the free throw line this year. Playing in his 10th game. Averaging just 12 minutes a game. And he misses it. 10-point game, Cardinals with the ball. Making it interesting here at the field house. Black got bumped on the way in. Yeah, they're just face guarding Tom Horonis at this point. 15 to shoot. Outside. Black goes to the rack again. Missed it. Had to hang in the air. 2 defenders on him. That ball is lost. Zisk picks it up.
Gotta get something going here quickly. Under 1 minute remaining here. Tyler Black trying to get something going. Kasanda pops open.
3-pointer for Kasanda. Not his strong suit, just his second 3-pointer of the year. And they're going to put Cartwright on the free throw line, but, you know, pick your poison, really. So Cartwright, who has not missed today from the stripe, 7 of 7.
And this is the smallest gap since the 2:10 mark in the first half that the Cardinals have been able to cut into this Warrior lead. Was 44-39, about 2:10 in the first half. Now find themselves only down by 7 here with 44 seconds left on the clock.
I think we were saying at some point that they were losing the second half. You know, you can always break it up into halves and say, well, we won we may have lost the game, we won the second half, or vice versa. And they were down by 14 in the second half, and now look at it, now they're up 38-35 in half number 2.
The Cardinals are currently on a 24-7 run in the last 9 minutes of action here. Was a 24-point lead for the Warriors at the 9:09 mark, but Tom Horonis and the Cardinals have other plans to let this one be a blowout here in the Cardinal Fieldhouse tonight.
Well, they're going to put Cartwright at the free throw line. As I mentioned, came into the game 81% from the stripe. He is 5th best in the conference, and now we got getting some help from Andrew Klein,
who says sweepers can only be on the soccer field.
I know,
See one out here on the basketball tonight in the form of Klein.
It's a very polite guest we have.
And Abdu Guy is going to have to check out of the game as his whole jersey is covered from blood in that tumble that he took.
No, so they got a couple other blood spots on the floor they're going to have to tend to, so he's going to have to come out.
Calling for athletic director Lonnie Prees from across the court. Saw full well that the athletic trainer Matt was cleaning up the blood that was on the court.
He's all over it. So definitely the story of the second half is Tom Horonis, 6 of 8 from beyond the arc. And as I mentioned earlier, the halftime of him and assistant coach Eddie Golston out there, graduate assistant, new to the team this year, helping out there, working with him. And he was hitting a lot more than he was missing. And it has carried over to this game. It's one of those things, they've had spot-up shooters before. You have players like him and like Austin Harless would maybe fall into that category. I think, how can they get the ball to these guys?
And obviously with Emmanuel Dominguez out tonight with that ankle injury, another name that we haven't called a lot tonight is Gerald Booker. Having a pretty quiet night with 7 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Just really hasn't gotten any looks as he misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
Wow.
Cardinals could take this to a 4-point game with a 3.
He was 7 for 7 before that miss, and there's Horonis for 3. Boy, I was kind of forced that one up. But you know what? He's the one that got you here, so I guess I'd give him a pass on that one.
Got to ride the hot hand.
But that was definitely a forced shot. So Lockhart and French are going to check in. Horonis and Zisk come out. So 7-point game, 32 seconds to go. And they're going to let Cartwright get rid of it. Oh, they're going to foul him. Yep. All right, that's a better idea. They're going to put Holly at the free throw line. He is just 5 of 8 from the free throw line this year.
25.2 showing on the game clock. Shot clock turned off.
The sophomore from Waterford.
It'll be 2 free throws each for the rest of the way tonight. And another missed free throw by the Warriors. Allows the Cardinals to hang around here as Lockhart and French come back out of the game.
And it's going to be Cartwright that is going to be draped all over Tom Horonis. Not exactly a situation you'd think their best player. And misses both. So 3 straight free throw misses for the Warriors. They're denying the ball. Oh, and they're black. That was crafty, but he missed the layup. A missed opportunity there for the Cardinals as they miss an 8th. Is that 8 now? For 8 shots from inside 5 feet. So 13 seconds left. I'm just going to put Cap Wilson on the free throw line, but give credit to the Cardinals, fighting to the end, making it at least stressing out Coach Pleasant.
And they did a really nice job turning around shooting-wise. They started off at an abysmal around 22% from the field, and now they were able to pull it all the way back up to 45% on the night. That's pretty good, especially in the second half, in order to bring those numbers back up. But the 50 points in the paint from the Warriors has been pretty outstanding, even though Tom Hronis has tried his late game heroics here best as he could.
Give him one more. Why not? Oh, yeah! What a great finish. Good golly.
And this has got to draw Ricky Jan's attention to Tom Hronis. Really, with
you think?
Not wide open shots by any means. Players draped all over him. Size disadvantage, and not in Hronis' favor. Hand in his face. Still has the wherewithal and the control and concentration to knock it down. Nonetheless, in a game where you're behind and you have to make points when nobody else will.
That was almost a logo shot. That was impressive. And this is what we saw really when he first came into the game, or first came in early. I remember it was I think it was the Defiance College game. He came in and he made a three-pointer, and really right as soon as he was not afraid to shoot, he actually attempted 4 shots in 5 minutes. And this is a guy just throws caution to the wind, and you love the confidence. You need guys like that to come off the bench. He's just done this to 11. Like, what a game for Tom Hronis. 21 points on 7 of 10 shooting.
And with just 5.6 seconds remaining.
It's a 2-possession game.
You never know what can happen.
Crazier things have happened. And they're face guarding Cartwright. They want to keep it out of his hand. That's going to be a foul. Unfortunately, Cap Wilson's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Even if this game doesn't end well for the Cardinals in the win column, you have to be encouraged from what you see in the form of Tom Hronis and trying to use him to get out of what would be, or what could be, this 5-game stretch. And now 8 of the last 9 games that the Cardinals have dropped. Definitely could utilize him to give that spark off the bench, give the guys a different look, different energy for their offense, spread out the court a little bit, and try to really change the dynamic of this team that's really struggling right now.
Wilson, 8 of 11 on the season from the free throw line. And there is the man we were looking for, Aldrin Dongmo Kenfak. The 7'11" center from Cameroon has entered the ball game.
I was wondering if Bol just elected to come back to college one more time and just go to the NAI and try to run it for a few years.
Black. Set out to Casanda at the buzzer. Unable to hit, but credit to the Cardinals. Fighting to the end. 90-82 is your final score. And they win the second half. So
you take what you can get on nights like these.
Well, let's take a look at the final numbers. It was Armand Cartwright, 23 points to lead all scorers for Rochester. Lit 4 players in double figures. Cap Wilson with 18. Guy with 16. Agba with 14. Wilson also had 9 rebounds. And we talked all about how Cap Wilson's shooting 54% from 3. He was just 1 for 1. For the Cardinals, it was the Tom Hronis show. 21 points, 7 of 10 from beyond the arc. 14 points for Greg Alexander to go along with 5 rebounds. Tyler Black, 11 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. Had a couple steals in there as well. Jordan Winowicki had 10 points and 5 boards. Paul Zisk had some limited playing time, but he got some numbers, 6 points, 8 boards, couple of assists. Limited early in the game because of foul trouble. Bernard Casanda had a couple of nice moments, 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And Gerald Booker had kind of an off night for him. 3 of 9 shooting, 7 points. Saw Kip French get his first points as a Concordia Cardinal. Rochester shoots 54% from the field, Cardinals 45%. The Cardinals hit 13 3-point shots tonight. That is a season high for them. 13 of 32, 41%. Rochester 6 of 15 for a very good three-point shooting team, holding them to 40%. Free throws, 65% for the Cardinals, 69% for Rochester. Rebounding edge goes to Rochester, 40 to 30, 12 to 9 edge on the offensive glass. Assists, Cardinals 16 to 9. Steals, they won in steals 8 to 7. Turnovers 15 for the Cardinals. That was turned into 16 Rochester points. 14 Warrior turnovers turned into 18 points for the Cardinals. Another encouraging number there for the Cardinals. Each team with 3 blocks. And as you mentioned, points in the paint, 50 to 30 edge for the Warriors. So that will wrap it up here. And they certainly made it interesting. And as you mentioned, encouraging for the Cardinals to not give up in this game and take it to the very end.
Especially coming off of 4 straight losses and 7 out of their last 8 games. Being down by 24 points with 9 minutes left in the game, they easily could have thrown in the towel, not shown any heart, not shown any passion to play for their coach, for their school, for the name that they represent. But the Cardinals really proved true tonight, really earned a lot more than what the scoreboard shows at the end of the night. Going on that 24-7 run late in the second half, really staying true and getting the Horonis bonus there at the end. Did a really nice job in cutting into that lead.
I was holding off on that one, but you did it. I knew it was coming. All right, well, that wraps up our coverage of Concordia University Ann Arbor men's basketball. Once again, the final score, Cardinals fall in this one 90 to 82. And, of course, earlier the women picking up a big win, 61-41. Congratulations to them. So we split with Rochester today. Next game, the Cardinals will head down to Ohio to take on Lourdes University on Saturday. It will be a doubleheader with the women. The women's game tipping off at 1 o'clock. The men following at 3. After another road game, this time against Northwestern Ohio on Saturday, December 14th, the Cardinals will return to Ann Arbor for their final home game of 2019 when they host the Lourdes Gray Wolves on Wednesday, December 18th. That will be our final broadcast of the calendar year before we return on January 8th. So it has been fun bringing this to you tonight. Major Tom Horonis with a big night, but falling short, 90 to 82. For all the latest news and information, be sure to check out ConcordiaCardinals.com. You can find them on Twitter and Instagram at CUAA Cardinals. For the production team here at Concordia University, my partner Jacob Brentke, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Josh Hackala saying so long from Ann Arbor.